Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vinay and we like watching anime. My favorite anime is One Piece, but we react to everything: action, horror, comedy, thriller, slice of life, rom-com, deep, dark, bizarre animes as well. But today, let's watch an anime that most of you might be sleeping on, and I'm not sure why. It's a really good anime. It's getting interesting. It's sort of detective and it's sort of also like mystery and fantasy or back in the past, however you want to call it. But it's getting interesting now. We are 10 episodes in. This is the 11th episode of the Apothecary Diaries, guys. And Surya no Hitogoto, I think that's the Japanese name. But anyway, it's an interesting anime. If you are into mystery, detective, like finding out stuff, that sort of anime, that sort of stories in general, this would be a good anime for you. And it's highly rated, so apparently lots of people loved it. But let's it's two seasons. We are on season one. We are on episode 11, and it's getting really interesting now because we are digging into the past. We're digging into what the palace is. We have now some understanding of who the characters are. Maomao, Jinshi-sama, the other concubines, where Gyokyo is like represented by, like, let's just say there are four concubines right now, and all of them have certain characteristics. The youngest one, the oldest one, who's some sort of relation with the previous emperors. It gets a little bit complicated, but that's what it's about. That sorts of stuff adds the mystery to this entire palace politics, let's say. And we are kind of getting into the core of how Maomao is also related to the palace by not by herself. Well, she was abducted. And if you want to check out the reaction to the previous episodes of Apothecary Diaries and all the other animes that I've been watching, there's a link in the description for the playlist. Hopefully, you'll enjoy it as well. But coming back, previous episodes, we saw that Lady Lihua is also, well, concubine Lihua at this point. She's also allergic to honey, or she sort of had some reaction in the past, and we are finding out that now. And she's also getting bullied by her old lady in waitings, and it's the same story. But Lauman, the dad of Maomao, has been around in this palace before, and he was expelled, so he did something. That's why there are so many different types of herbs, medicinal herbs, and all this other stuff into the palace, and that's why Mao Mao was kind of excited and curious to see what else is there in the palace. But Lauman has hid the fact from Mao Mao, so what's the deal with that? We're gonna find out. Not in this episode, but this is all setup, guys. I honestly think most of the season one is just going to be a setup for season two, which is going to be like the main act, but this is just like prequel. We are all setting up the stories at this point. And you have to be really, really, really patient with this sort of animes, because you have to have mystery to solve before you actually solve it, right? And right now there's loads of mysteries, there's loads of other sort of stuff unfolding. What's going on in the palace? Who was the one behind the fires and all the secret codings? And Jinshi, who is he? Is he actually the emperor's younger brother? Is he just a eunuch? We don't know nothing, but we might find out in sooner or later. So let's get started with episode 11 of Apothecary Diaries, season 1. All right. Oh, come on! Don't keep us in suspense. Oh, are they trying to leave after doing something? Uh, she's offered honey. Oh, no way. Damn, my mind didn't even go there. Ugh. That's probably the worst thing for a concubine. Are you sure you wanna mention so many things? Oh, she looks exhausted. Oh, wow. She's figured out loads of stuff. Well, he was just following orders. Honey? What? You can't give honey to kids? Wow. Oh. Who? Oh my god. Oh, what a bitch. Wow. Wow. What the hell? Told you, you have to let the mysteries build up for it to be exciting when it's solved. And oh my god, what a mystery was that? Did you know this? Anybody watching this, anyone, did you not know or did you know that honey can be poisonous to infants? I have never heard of this stuff, right? I know like honey has to be processed, sort of, or at least the modern honey that we get is way more processed than having, let's say, wild honey, and which is much more dangerous because the way honey is made is bees collect the nectar from different types of flowers, and some of them can be poisonous, but it doesn't matter to them. And that if that ends up in honey and you eat that, that's gonna have troublesome reactions to human body, and it might end up being fatal. But just normal honey, sweet, pure honey that everybody's eating, and that honey is also poisonous to the infants. I did not know that. Hmm. Crazy how you learn new things every day in an anime nonetheless. But wow, that I did not know. Or is it just the honey, or is it the honey and the flower mixed together? That sort of stuff causes the reaction, or being proving fatal to an infant, maybe. But it's okay for adults as a tea sort of stuff. I don't know. But man, imagine. So from the way I'm seeing this is Ado and Lihua-sama, Lihua, Lishu, they were good friends at some point. and they were becoming codependent, and because of the late delivery, or let's say an attendant, a doctor, a physician not being present during the delivery, she had to lose her uterus, which is, my God, one tragedy after another for one of the best concubines there is. She's literally a role model, an idol person for every other concubines out there. And I don't know how this new emperor found out that she cannot give children anymore, because that's the one thing that's important for being a concubine. You have to be able to produce children. And she does not have any other faults apart from being that. She's a good person so far. She's been a decent enough person. She does not have any fights with anybody. She's the oldest, so she's the wisest, and she keeps everybody else in her pavilion great. Let's say she treats them well. Even Maomao, who was coming on from a different pavilion, was treated well in her, whereas we know in certain different pavilions she was not treated well. But man, that's a huge tragedy. So even Maomao's father, Lauman, was expelled, let's say, not for the right reasons. Damn. You have to dig into the past more, guys. This is getting interesting at this point. I don't know about you guys, but this sort of stuff, the history, the catching up, and Fenming, had she confessed, I would think Lady Ado was the sort of person who would be willing to forgive her, even if it was the loss of her only child, which I don't know, she would have forgiven her. She seems like a nice lady, and it's not like she knew what she was doing. Everybody there didn't know. Anybody there didn't know this fact that honey can prove fatal to an infant, and it was another concubine, Lady Lihua, who was I did the same person, but I don't know, Lady Lishu, who had certain sort of reaction when she was a kid, and maybe that she could have said like, oh hey, did this happen when with the son of Lady Ado? Wow, no wonder. No wonder. The youngest concubine does not have the support of the oldest concubine. No wonder she's getting bullied by her own lady in waiting, guys.
欲しいものは何？そんなものはありません。何でもいいのよ。
Oh, she looks creepy.
そんなの意味がないことはご自分で分かっているでしょう。
Is there going to be a fight? It was an accident. Wow. Are you gonna save her?
私にできるのは2つあった動機を1つにすることだけです。結果は変わりません。それでもよろしければ受け入れてください。
Alright, she made some changes in her report.
疲れた。弱みはできないし、せめて
She works too hard.
もしものためには油紙を重ねて固定していたが必要なくてよかったわ。痛いからな。
She's certainly smart.
本民が自首してきたのだが、何か知らないか。
何のことでしょう。
ガオシュンに書き物を集めさせていたようだ。
ええ、何かわかるかと思いましたが無駄になってしまいました。
本民の動機は
She's feigning ignorance there.
四夫人の座にとどまれるようにするためだったそうだ。
そうですか。
しかし、アードー妃は上級妃を射ることが決定している。号泣を出た後、南の離宮に住まうことになった。
今回の件が原因でしょうか。
いや、もともと決まっていた。皇帝の判断だそうだ。
So the emperor knows.
このため、
さっき本屋に飾っていたそうだ。
ええ、古い先ですね。
甘いな。
毒ですけどね。そんなことはないので大丈夫ですよ。
Don't go sucking on flowers, guys. Anything can be poisonous.
リーシュ妃の毒殺、赤子の死の原因。2つの動機を1つにすれば、赤子の死の原因をアードー妃に知られないようにすることはできる。自身の死は免れなくても、それが何の権力もない小娘にできる最大限だった。
Subtle foreshadowing. I think she's gonna become really powerful. Maomao.
眠れない。散歩でもするか。
I don't know how Lady Ado is gonna take that news. No light pollution, guys.
フォンミンの
Clear skies.
ア
What?
ードー妃の高級をされるという。
Oh wow. That happens really quickly.
この間手伝いに来ていた次女だな。
すぐに帰りますので。
いや、一杯付き合わないか。
Of course.
男のようであろう。
そのように振る舞っているように見えます。
正直者だな。息子がこの手からいなくなってからずっと私は妃ではなく皇帝の友人だったんだ。いや、友人に戻ったのかな。まさか妃になるなんて思わなかった。お情けで飾りの妃を言っていただけ。早く誰かに受け渡したかった。どうしてすがりついていたのだろう。
きっとここにいたのが誰であっても同じ話をしたのだろうな。
Now, how much does she know? Does she know she helped the concubine? Sorry, the lady.
苦しかっただろうな。
そうですね。わかる。そうかもしれません。
She's an empath. Don't go jumping. Don't go jumping.
そうかもしれません。なんとなくわかった。やはりあの下女は自殺だったのだ。アードー妃はそれに気づいていた。本民は自殺に加担していたのかもしれない。アードー妃に権利がかからぬようにと冷たい水の中に沈んだ下女。知られたくない秘密を守り、自ら公主台に上がったフォンミン。アードー妃の意志にかかわらず、彼女のために命を懸ける者たちがいる。
Wow.
私もそろそろ降りよう。
See, she looks like a sensible lady. I really don't understand how does an emperor or anybody who actually picks the concubine, how does he pick them? Or is it just like you look pretty, you can be the next lady in next concubine and help me raise a new child. Is that just how it works? Or do you have to be part of certain family or some sort of higher importance maybe? Because like Lady Lishu, right? She was a kid who was there always, and then she was picked as a high-ranking consort. That high ranking just means maybe she was part of a high-ranking family, and then she was picked as part to be concubine because hey, if you're able to give a child to the emperor, you're going to become the next empress, right? That's a huge step up in whatever world you're living at. If you are the ruler of a kingdom, if you are the spouse of the ruler of the kingdom, regardless of where you are in life, that's probably the highest you'll get in this era. So that has to be a really good thing, maybe, and not like the emperor is a bad guy. I don't know. At this point, we have no idea about how the emperor is, but he seems like a chill dude. He's asked for Maomao's help during sickness of the other lady, the blue one. I forgot her name already, but my God, it's been some time since I've watched this anime. But hey, he seems like a nice dude. So I'm calling him dude. He seems like a nice emperor in general, like not like the dictator sort of person over there. And I don't know how huge his kingdom is. He's an emperor, so it seems like it's not a bad deal to become a concubine, right? And the one thing you have to do is to give a child to the emperor, which, by the way, she cannot now, so that's why she's being released. But you have a lot of weight on your shoulders, and you have to go through loads of stuff, training and studies, and loads of other stuff, maybe to become that sort of empress. And every concubine has to go through that. So I don't imagine it to be an easy task, but it's still an important one at that. And Ado was, let's say, one of the best at it. Like, have you seen Lady Gyokyo and Lady Lishu and Lady Lihua? So all of these people, the youngest one is probably still very immature and learning about stuff, but Gyokyo is really good. She is the only one with child at the moment. She's highly likely to become the empress, and the other one lost a child because she feigned ignorance over Mao Mao's advice. But hey, she might be another person. The child is still very young, and like they said, you can lose your child up until what, 7 years. Anything can happen to the child. He's not safe, and then rest of the stuff he's now being trained to become an emperor and loads of other stuff like that. But this is this is different than we watch in a normal show, right? Because you get to look, you get to see the perspective from the inside of the palace of how life of everybody else is within the palace. Like imagine yourself outside of the palace, right? Like how Maomo's father is right now, right? He knows how the palace works, but he cannot interfere in any of this stuff outside. And as a normal subject, I'm not even sure if you're allowed to see the emperor, how you see the emperor, can you enter the palace, what you can do. They just have their regular tasks, being a cook, being a cleaning person, and all this stuff. They have no idea what goes on into the crux, into the core of the palace. Whereas Jinshi, because of Jinshi and other lady in waitings and the main concubines, Maomao is getting to that, as close as possible to that, but the sort of person who has no power over that, right? So she can help people to some extent, but not exactly like you're not going to be executed. I forbid it. Not like that. She can just help people. She helped Fenming to hide her secret, and the other person, also the one who actually committed the suicide. Ado knew about it. Fenming knew about it. She aided that, as they said. This is becoming much more complicated than I thought, but we now know how difficult life in palace is. So it's not always all this mm, trinklets and shining things that you see from outside. There's so much stuff happening, and it's kind of hard, guys. So choose wisely if you ever want to be in this sort of position.
何をしている
Oh, you let her fall.
悪かったな
She fell on him.
それは俺の方が聞きたい
Did she notice?
話していただけますか話してください
寒いからやだ
上着もなしでは風邪をひきますから部屋に戻ってください
They asked you?
家主は俺を先に誘って飲ませるだけ飲ませた挙句どこかへ出かけてしまった。
That's an emperor. I guarantee you that's an emperor.
すっきりしたから帰れと追い出された。
Oh,
お
that's
前
Lady
を
Adu
そんな
then.
風に扱える人間がこの号泣にもいるのだな。でもそれとこれとは関係ない。ひつく酔っ払いに付き合ってるんだね。よく考えると元は私が落ちてきて受け止めてもらったんだから、礼も言わずさっさと話せというのは失礼かもしれない。
Oh,
ジンシさん、
oh, he's crying. Could he be the brother of Adu then? He looks like Adu, so he might as well be.
二人とも二日酔いの心配はなさそうだな。アード王妃は高級を出るため祝妃の証である冠を返す。あの冠はしばらくの後、受代してくる娘に渡されることが決まっている。そうか。誰かに似ていると思ったが、ジンシ様のことだったようだ。あの二人、服装を入れ替えた方がよっぽど。入れ替える？
息子がこの手からいなくなってからずっと。
いなくなってから。死んでからではなく、まるでまだ生きているようにも捉えられる言い方だ。同時に生まれたアード王妃の子供と当時の皇后の子供、二人がもし取り替えられていたとしたら、出産を最後
Oh.
アード王妃は身に染みて分かっただろう。
何をする。まだアール王様が皇后様が優先だ。
そんな。所詮は乳母の娘、地兄弟である妃に過ぎない自分のもとより当時の皇后のもとに生まれた赤子の方が庇護を受けるということ。何が正しいのか判断などできなかったかもしれない。だがその結果、己の息子が助かったのであれば、それはアード王妃の本望だっただろう。
Wow.
赤子が取り替えられたのがバレたとする。もしそれが赤子が死んだ後であれば、気づかなかった親父が肉刑まで受けたことにも納得がいく。もしそうなら、皇帝の弟が今微妙な立場にあることも、潔いはずのアード王妃が高級を去らずとどまり続けた理由もわかるが、
To protect him.
実にくだらないバカバカしいくらいの妄想だ。相変わらずですな。孤独な妃に信頼のできる次女がいるということ、それはどれほどの救いになるだろうか。その時、青年のような凛々しい妃の顔が母親の顔に見えた。
本人の一族と関係者の名簿です。
Wow.
売り飛ばされたと聞いていたが、
Does everybody get the punishment now? Okay. This show. Alright. Right. This show is getting interesting. From just pure hypothesis to theories that actually make sense now. Okay. So, Jinshi might be the son of Ado, or the brother is the son. The brother, the younger brother of the emperor is the son. Damn. I literally just thought that the emperor's younger brother is Jinshi, and it's just how it works. But unless they explicitly say this out loud, I cannot just agree with the fact. I honestly think that the emperor and, well, we haven't seen the younger brother, but if Jinshi is the younger brother, they look very different. They look not at all the same. So it makes sense now why um, Lauman was expelled, because he did not notice this stuff, and maybe that's what should have. And the emperor's like, nope, you can't be the head physician in this, head attendant or doctor in this palace if you can ignore, or if you cannot notice this sort of stuff. So bye bye. And then now Maomao has taken his place. So will she? And she is very sharp. She's pretty much surpassing her father. if he is her father, surpassing her father in all aspects. Curiosity, actual medicines, ailments, preparing stuff, and even the alcoholism. I suspect the alcoholism comes from her father, but hey, there's some loss. There's some sort of loss. If you didn't notice, there were two deaths. One exile. So I don't know if this sort of stuff would be considered exile, but just leaving of an important person and a now appointment of a new person might be the one that's going to happen in the next episode. But there's going to be a new concubine in the court, and we might get to know how these people are picked and what their roles are and what what sort of new personality that comes into this uh, show that we've built up so far. But anyway, that was today's episode. Let me know if all of this makes sense to you, some of this makes sense to you, and you have your own theories, your own hypothesis. Because I am literally watching it and we're like, okay, what's that? What's that? What's that? I might have to rewatch this stuff to understand more. But again, if you know about this, let me know in the comments. I'll be really happy and really glad to read it. And finally, it would make sense to me as well. But let me know in the comments of what you thought about today's episode. And we'll see you for the next one. Until then, bye bye.